Dolphin fans are ready for a change under center after a dreadful start. They want Shedeur Sanders traded to the Dolphins. Should Miami make a new move, Ocho?
You trade Shedeur Sanders. You clearly are not sold on him right now. You're not sold on the progress that he's making, even though you're saying, hey, we're happy with where he's at.
I'm going to be livid if it goes down, by the way.
Breaking news. The trade rumors surrounding Shedeur Sanders are heating up once again, and this time, the spotlight is on a potential swap for Tua Tagovailoa. After a tough performance in the first game, with Tua fumbling under pressure, fans are starting to get restless. They're calling for action, and the buzz is growing louder. Teams across the league are eyeing Shedeur Sanders, and the Dolphins are feeling the heat to make a move. If they want to land the promising quarterback, they're going to have to act fast. But the big question is, should the Dolphins pull the trigger? Let's dive into the latest trade news and break down what this could mean for Miami's and Browns' future.
I don't like when players do that.
Ain't lie.
Yeah, I don't like when players do that. Obviously, you would know him better than.
Shannon Sharp has revealed that the Dolphins are seriously considering a move, as Tua Tagovailoa's performance hasn't met expectations. The team is losing confidence in him as a reliable option at quarterback. With the long season ahead, they know they need someone who can carry them further into the playoffs. Looking at Shedeur Sanders' position, there's no one better suited for the job. However, the Dolphins can't just jump straight into the bidding war. They'll have to navigate the competition carefully, as other teams are also eyeing this potential deal. Kevin Stefanski recently addressed the escalating trade rumors surrounding Shedeur Sanders, acknowledging that sometimes teams just can't retain every player on their roster. However, despite the growing speculation, the Browns are making it clear they're not ready to part with their star quarterback. They're staying firm and resisting the pressure to make a move. That said, one thing is undeniable. If Cleveland were to lose Shedeur Sanders, their chances of staying relevant in the league would take a significant hit. The future of the franchise rests on keeping him, and the stakes have never been higher.
Comments back a little bit, but when he said, these are going to be tough decisions and you can't always keep everyone, right?
And then he tried making it like, I'm out.
Within Cleveland, the debate is intensifying, with some insiders suggesting that if Shedeur Sanders is truly on the trading block, it might be time to part ways with him. His market value is at an all-time high, and several teams, including the Dolphins, are showing strong interest.
You trade Shedeur Sanders. You clearly are not sold on him right now. You're not sold on the progress that he's making, even though you're saying, hey, we're happy with where he's at.
I'm going to be livid if it goes down, by the way.
The more the Browns try to downplay his significance, the more criticism they attract, only adding pressure to the team. Their strategy to shift the spotlight has only created more problems. Now, if the Dolphins manage to trade for Shedeur, not only could they improve their roster, but they'd also draw significant fan attention, gaining more visibility than ever before. There's strong opposition within the Browns organization to trading Shedeur Sanders, with ownership pushing for him to take the field. Jimmy Haslam is now directly involved, pushing hard for Sanders to finally get his chance. Reports indicate that Haslam is prepared to make a decisive move, and Colin Cowherd has even hinted that Shedeur could be playing as early as November. According to Cowherd, it's only a matter of time before the Browns hit a breaking point. If the losses continue to mount, the pressure on Stefanski and his coaching staff will become overwhelming, forcing them to make the change. That's when Sanders is expected to step in, bringing the energy and spark the team desperately needs. And if he shines, even in brief moments, the fans will be clamoring for him to become the permanent starter, with his name plastered across headlines every week.
I tend to think by Thanksgiving, he'll just potentially be the best quarterback they have, and the fans will be clamoring for him because it's not a very good team and they'll be losing games.
Colin Cowherd went further, revealing that Browns ownership is firmly backing Shedeur Sanders, pushing for him to get on the field because they see him as the future of the franchise. However, there's a catch. Management isn't quite ready to hand him the reins just yet. Instead, reports suggest that the front office and coaching staff are trying to buy more time, seeking ways to delay his full-time debut. Their strategy appears to be about gradually easing Sanders into the spotlight, rather than throwing him into the deep end right away.
The first 4 weeks, the staff is going to tell him, Shedeur's not ready, Shedeur's not ready. My guess is they go 0-4, maybe they go 1-3. Haslam's going to come down on Sunday, October 5th. And he says, I want Shedeur to play.
You might be asking, why is Jimmy Haslam so eager to get Shedeur Sanders on the field? The answer lies in Shedeur's growing influence and massive fan base. His personality and presence have already made him the center of attention, turning him into the talk of the town. Fans are flocking to him, and let's face it, the Browns haven't been in the spotlight for much else. However, the pressure is mounting, and the longer Shedeur remains on the sidelines, the more intense the conversations will become. With the Dolphins now in the mix, the Browns face a tough decision, as losing Shedeur would be a significant loss for them.
Yeah. Let me see. Oh, we got. Well, we got to do some trading. Dion, she's mine. Hey, Dion.
Realistically speaking, a trade of Shedeur Sanders to the Dolphins makes a lot of sense for both parties. The Dolphins, currently in a much stronger position than the Browns, offer a better opportunity for Sanders to thrive and grow. Miami has a solid roster with a powerful offense and a team that is contending for playoff spots. With the right pieces in place, including a dynamic receiving core and a strong defense, the Dolphins are in a much better position to compete for championships right now compared to Cleveland. For Shedeur, moving to Miami would provide him with a fresh start in a team that could maximize his potential. Given his growing influence and skill set, the Dolphins would offer a platform for him to showcase his talent on a bigger stage. Currently, in Cleveland, Sanders is in a situation where he's not guaranteed an immediate starting role, and the Browns seem intent on bringing him along slowly. While he might eventually get his shot, the long-term outlook in Cleveland seems uncertain, with the team still struggling to find its identity. In contrast, Miami could offer him a chance to step in sooner, especially if Tua Tagovailoa continues to struggle or if the team decides to make a change. The Dolphins, with their playoff aspirations, would be more inclined to make a move for a quarterback who can quickly adjust and make an impact. For Shedeur, this could be the perfect environment to prove himself and accelerate his development. A trade to Miami would not only give him the chance to play for a competitive team, but also set him up for long-term success in a franchise that is on the rise. What do you all think about this situation? Does a trade for Shedeur Sanders to the Dolphins seem like the right move, given their current strength and playoff aspirations? Or do you believe the Browns should hold on to him,